bit where it just left. I like the fact that we open here with critical remarks, mainly because this falls squarely in what we want to achieve. We want to understand a country, its legal setting, its economic reality, that I feel, and a lot of people feel, there is not enough knowledge distributed about. And to enter in the discourse already on the substance in the introduction is great. That just shows how relevant it is that we do have this exchange. And this gets me also to explaining to you briefly what the observatory is and why we are. It's precisely because of that need of knowledge that we were set up 25 years ago. It's a big year for the observatory. We're celebrating a quarter century of a lifetime. And this is possible because the audiovisual industry in Europe was considered to be a huge chance for economic development. And a prerequisite to use this chance was knowledge. So we're getting back to that magic word, and that's a word you also used, even so in a different sense. We need transparency about the market. And as a part of that, it's also important to discuss what is transparent, not transparent. So I really think we are squarely in where we should be. What we also need, and what was one of the other reasons to set up the observatory, was a certain forecast. Where do things go? What can be expected? So now linking this to the study that will be presented today, it shows the Russian market of the on-demand world as a fast-growing one with perspectives. And here again, we ask a question, is this known enough? We believe it's not known enough. We need reports of that sort. And I think the more we can have information, also including from the agency, the better it is. So we should really use all of this and put it together. Now, if it's then at some point known, we can also see, is this a general trend just in Russia? Is it a trend maybe in Europe? Globally, we are talking about on-demand. And what's the implication, you touched on this also, of the legal framework that's set up to regulate that sector, this flourishing sector? Now, we are here, and that's again referring to what does the observatory do, with two colleagues. On the very left is Maja Cappello, who heads the Department for Legal Information, and next to her, Gilles Fontaine, who heads the department, the other one, we have just two, for market information. Now, this study was one with a focus on market information. Maja was not really applied in the legal part, but also I learned from the introduction that maybe time is ripe for a report that covers equally both sides and gives more power also to the legal part, because the main briefing was on the economic side of things. So why are those two people here? Well, because, as I said, we have a flourishing sector. We will learn about this, but we also want to know, it embedded, what's the context? In what more global European setting is this to be situated? So answers to that will be given by Maja, who reports on legal activity taking place in the European context. And European context is in a big part the EU legislation, which drives a lot of the developments in a big part of Europe. And then we also want to see, are these trends, is this, where do you put this in the economic experience of other countries? And this will then be the task of Gilles to do this. And I hope that after these presentations, after then the following presentation of the study, where I'm really also looking forward to, even so the intellectual exercise is a different one for me, that you will have time and you'll have the interest to ask all these questions, to continue the discussion and the exchange, to make the picture even clearer. We come here as observatory to you because we have an interest in the market. We are mandated to really tell the world as much as we can of all our member states. The observatory has 40 member states, and that includes also one non-European country, namely Morocco. The rest is all European countries, and we have the European Union as a member. So the task is really to cover all of this. This here is a little piece of the puzzle, but you can find many other pieces in our work, and we will regularly come back here to bring you in the picture and to make sure that this important element, the Russian piece of the puzzle, is known and makes a big point in the discussions. So with this, I would like to hand over to Maja to start the presentation.